Hi, Kathy. Thanks for being here today. Kathy, can you tell us why you decided to write this book?
It really was a passion to explain to people about Venetian glass jewelry and what is actually happening in Venice, Italy, with the craftsmanship and the imitations of the Venetian beads.
What inspired you to create the projects that you have in this book?
It really, when I have visited Italy and we started purchasing their jewelry to sell here, we found that the findings with the beautiful beads that they made were not compatible. They were very inexpensive. So I thought, I can make the jewelry better that really complements the beads. So my inspiration really was to create beautiful jewelry that complemented the Venetian beads and the quality that they represented.
So what level do I need to be to create these pieces in your book?
You know what, the book covers beginners to intermediate projects and in between. So at this point, if you're just starting, it works, and if you're a little above the beginning level, you will find projects in it for you too.
What would you say has influenced you in creating this book?
One of the very interesting things when I started designing and buying the Venetian beads were the different names. We'll call them names. So I started looking into the history of the different Venetian beads and how the names came about. And it was very interesting to find that most of the names were created or given to the beads by the bead makers for marketing purposes in the 1900s. So it was just something that I wanted to explain to people why a bead was given a name and what that bead looks like. So, you know, when they're out looking for the Venetian beads, they kind of have some guidelines to go by.
So in creating this book, what have you learned? Any big wows along the way you want to share with us?
In regards to writing a book, I learned a lot just about the editing process and actually writing a book and how long it takes. Other than that, it was just really a very good learning experience, and I really want to do a second book after this one has been published.
So tell us why the consumer would want to purchase this book.
Well, number one, Venice is an absolutely fabulous place to visit, and the history and the beauty are something that I think everybody needs to experience once. And after my first visit there, I was there for almost 2 weeks, just fell in love with it. And I fell in love with the people as well as the beauty of the Venetian beads. So it's something that they can incorporate a dream. If they are unable to go to Italy, they will be able to bring a piece of Italy here to them.
What do you think this book has to offer that somebody might not find in another beading book?
One of my goals when I wrote this book was, as I had mentioned, to explain the different types of Venetian beads as well as incorporating them into different types of jewelry pieces. So when somebody's looking at the book, they'll get an idea of different projects, different styles of jewelry to make. There's Viking knit, there's very simple basic beading. There's also projects that have a significant meaning to them that the piece will represent or symbolize something. And through the course of doing that, at the very end, what I also wanted to include was a little bit of traveling tips. So there's some information in that book about Venice and what you might want to see when you're there that you might find off the beaten path.